Hi guys, I'm Stefan, welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to talk about a question I get asked very often, and I think it's also a very important and controversial topic in classical music, which is, should you stress about reaching a specific speed when you're learning a piece? And is speed really that important in every single piece? Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. And I would like to say a big thank you to my Patreons for their continued support. You can see their names on the screen now. Tempo has been an endless debate in classical music, especially the earlier we go back to Baroque era music, classical era music. Even the biggest musicologists cannot agree on certain tempo debates. But this video is aimed at beginner and intermediate students, so if you're a concert pianist or an advanced student, this video is not for you because that's a whole different level of discussions there. But this one is really for beginner and intermediate students who hesitate to go on to the next piece because they feel like they haven't quite reached that metronome mark, or if there's no metronome mark, what should they do? How much should they practice a piece? And should they really aim for the speed if their hands don't allow them? So I want to talk about these questions because they are so important. And if you get into a healthy habit when thinking about speed and tempo, then your piano journey is going to be a lot less frustrated and you're going to enjoy the process a lot more. So, should you stress about speed and tempo? The short answer is no, but of course it's never as simple. So let me explain. In contemporary pop music and musicals that we listen to nowadays, like, Beyonce and Lady Gaga and Wicked and all these pieces, technology is playing such a huge part in the way we listen and create music that it became extremely unified. And by that I mean that most artists are playing to a click track, so every single concert throughout a world tour is going to sound identical or the same tempo, and that basically conditions us unconsciously that we are expecting a certain speed for a piece, and if you want to play it, we know exactly how many beats per minute we need to play that song or that piece, because we have that indication, we have the technology to set that exact speed. So basically we are very technology based because we can measure things so easily, and the metronome is so readily available to everybody. Speed has become one of those primary goals that shouldn't really be a primary goal. This wasn't always the case. If we go back in time, the further we go back in the history of Western music, the less specific speed is going to be. And when we get to Baroque era, or even early classical music, sometimes there is not even a speed indication at all. And even if there is a speed indication like allegro or lento, it could mean vastly different speeds within different countries of Europe or different regions within a country, and even within different pieces of the same composer. So how can we agree on speeds, and why should we stress so much about getting a specific speed, especially in this era of music, when we don't even know if it's correct or incorrect? The metronome was invented in the 19th century, so around the early Romantic era or very late Classical era, and the metronome allowed composers to prescribe an exact speed at which a piece should be played. For example, if the metronome says quarter note equals 100, it means you need to play 100 quarter notes or crotchets in 1 minute. The closer we get to the 21st century or present day, the more composers started prescribing speed and becoming very specific about speed. And the more we go back in time, especially before the invention of the metronome, the less information we find about speed. Now, just because the metronome was invented in the 19th century, it doesn't mean that the metronome was used the same way as it is now. It wasn't a click track, it wasn't something that people used throughout an entire piece. It was solely used to give a general indication for the feel of the piece. Performers would use the metronome for a few bars before they start, just to kind of settle into the speed, and then they would not use the metronome for the entire practice session because they would still use their individuality and let the tempo vary throughout the piece, especially in the Romantic era music, which can be completely destroyed by a metronome clicking throughout the entire piece. Now, obviously, I'm not here to talk about pieces which have a metronome mark so much, because those are quite black and white, what you need to do with them. But beginners and intermediate students play an awful lot of music from the Baroque era and classical era, such as Bach's music, Handel, Purcell, Mozart, Scarlatti, who have been the essence of piano education for early intermediate and beginner students. And when you look at these pieces, many of them just have an Italian tempo mark like allegro or allegro non troppo, moderato or lento. And as I said, these marks do not mean a specific tempo at all. And even composers back in the day would play the same piece at a different speed during different performances. So it shouldn't be taken as a black and white indication. And the further we go back to very early classical music or Baroque music, many pieces will not have a tempo mark at all. And those pieces can be interpreted in so many ways. The only clues we can have are basically the time signature, the relative lengths of the notes, the character of the dance, whether it's a couronne, sarabande, jig, or whatever it is. That's going to give us some indication to how fast the piece should actually go, but we don't know. And whoever tells you that they know exactly is lying, because there's no recording from those times. And even if there was one recording, as I said, it wouldn't mean that every single performance would use that same speed. So now that I've talked about the metronome and speed in general throughout the history of Western music in a nutshell, we could talk about these for hours. Let's see, what are we going to do about speed? What you need to understand as a beginner is that the purpose of learning piano, the purpose of having piano lessons, is to develop a very solid piano technique. Achieving specific speeds or playing very fast is never the primary goal. That's something that comes with a lot of practice and a lot of healthy technique. So if you play a Czerny exercise, for example, and there's no tempo indication, this is one of the questions that I get most often. How fast should I play the Czerny exercise and when should I go on to the next one? If I want to be very abrupt, I don't care how fast you go. The only thing I care about is whether it's even in tempo, whether it is tension-free, it's expressive, and you're playing with good, solid technique. So start playing all of these pieces at the slowest speed that allows you to be able to play it correctly, with a proper hand shape, without feeling tense anywhere, with beautiful expressive melody. And then have a look at the piece and see if the time signature is, for example, compound time, or have a look to see if the piece has a lot of very fast notes, like 16th notes, semiquavers. And that's going to be an indication to you that the piece is supposed to go at a fairly fast speed. Now again, there's no metronome mark there, but you know it's going to go at a faster speed. But if you see something very lyrical with lots of very long notes, quarter notes and half notes, you know there's probably going to be something slightly slower. Now you can't take this as a rule, but it's something that you can use as a clue to decide how fast an exercise should go where you don't have any kind of indication from the composer. The same thing applies to like Mozart minuets or Bach's inventions. They are so essential in piano learning, and Bach's inventions have no tempo mark at all. And since these pieces are so well known and so famous, almost every famous pianist made a recording of them. And if you look at these recordings, there is a vast difference between the speeds. Some people will play the same invention very slowly and expressively, like something lyrical, and other people will interpret it as something very upbeat. And there's no right or wrong here. You should always pick a speed that feels right to you, something that allows you to express the music and make it mean something. And this is ultimately the primary goal that you want to achieve as a beginner or intermediate student, to play correctly and make the music as expressive as you can. Now let's come to the second section of this discussion, where there is a metronome mark. What should we do there? Here is an example. Somebody is trying to play the Moonlight Sonata third movement. Obviously that's not an intermediate piece, but many intermediate students want to play it because they are so eager to play it, even though it's not something that should be played at that level. But let's say you're trying to play it. If you go more than 50% of the speed that's indicated in the score, you start blending your notes, you start missing notes, your hands start to get very tired, it becomes very uneven, the dynamics is gone, but you're still trying to go faster. That's the thing you should avoid doing at all costs. What you need to understand is that even if you play something half speed or much slower, but there's a lot of technical challenge in it, you will still learn an awful lot from that piece, and it's going to be beneficial for your piano journey and piano technique, even if you can't reach the speed, even if you can't reach half the speed. because you're memorizing patterns, you're working through different chords, different scales, you're working through different arpeggios, and all of those hours spent practicing that piece are going to give you so much to work with later on when you get to that advanced level. If you start playing something much faster than your hands allow you to, first of all, it's going to sound terrible. You're going to reinforce bad habits, which is playing unevenly, playing with tension, getting very tired very quickly, and not being able to express the melody properly. Ultimately, it's going to lead to a very bad piano journey because you're not going to get the feeling of achievement from that piece. It's going to feel discouraging. You're going to feel you're never good enough. Again, I'm aiming this speech at beginner and intermediate students, especially towards your practice sessions. If you are trying to pass your ABRSM diploma level and you're picking the Moonlight Sonata third movement for that specific exam, and you have to perform it in front of an audience or in front of an exam board, then of course you need to get as close to that speed as possible. But you have to remember that if you pick a piece for performance, you should never pick anything that you can't play comfortably, because there's no point. You don't want to show people or an examiner what you can't do. You want to show them what you can do. And a final thought on speed: even when we have a metronome mark, it doesn't mean that you need to be at that specific speed all the time, because music is very subjective. The same emotion can be expressed in many different ways, and those metronome marks you should be taken with a pinch of salt, and you can go slightly above, slightly under, depending on the style and the meter of the piece. And I think this is also very clearly noted by exam boards, who say that speed is not something that you're going to get graded on by achieving a specific metronome mark. All they care about is the speed that you chose appropriate for the way you want to express the music. So this was quite a long little spiel about tempo, but I think it's very important to talk about this because speed, especially in today's world where the faster and louder you go, the more people clap and they think that you're better than everybody else. It's not true, and do not fall into that trap. Don't push yourself for speed all the time. Push yourself for correct playing, expressive and beautiful playing. And if you can do all of that, only then should you start working on speed and building up stamina. If you have any more questions about this topic, leave them in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.